Hello, everyone. Grab your goggles, fasten the cape, and if you happen to have a tiara, best put it on because today we have the Queen of Sales with us in the Come Right In studio. And Lynn Whitbeck is here. Listen, you need to get a hold of her. You need to friend her, flag her down, send her a smoke signal. I don't care what you have to do. Get to know this human because A, you'll never meet a kinder heart. B, she absolutely knows her stuff. Today we're going to talk about sales. We're going to talk about a lot of topics. So, seatbelt in because you're going to need it. And I'm so proud to present Petite to Queen, Lynn Whitbeck. Lynn, welcome to the show.
Hey, RJ, I'm so excited to be here. And I just want to say right back at you, everybody. You must be already in RJ's world, but she is absolutely amazing. I am a huge fan. Love what RJ represents, what she does, and her amazing gifts to everyone, all the visionaries out there.
Beautiful. Well, gosh. So let's try to ground people in some beginning. Tell us who you are, what you do, and anything else, and we'll just take it from there.
Well, I will love to start that off because business owners and entrepreneurs hire me to ignite winning sales because most fail to connect, capture, and close their ideal clients. So I help sell with intent for maximum impact, influence, and income. And the bottom line, sales, love it or hate it, you won't survive without it.
Truth. And that's a lot of people that I know begrudgingly do sales because we think we have to be like everybody else. And you are, for as long as I've known you, and it's been years, you have been flying in the face of that idea and teaching people how to do things differently. What made you get started doing that?
I've been selling since I was a Girl Scout selling cookies, and so maybe I started at this really great place with an amazing organization with a delicious product. And I had my best friend who was helping me, who was the most shy, introverted person ever. So I created a plan and a process so we could sell these cookies and get the coveted cookie badge. And you had to sell literally a truckload of cookies to get this badge. And yeah, I was like the Walmart greeter, drawing them in, bringing them to the table. My friend Judy took their money, gave them their cookies, never had to say a word. And we were the only two girls in our entire district that got that badge. So wow. I think that when you start with that passion for your product and service and the organization, that's the first win. And if you don't have that, then you need to find it, because you cannot sell if you don't believe in your product or service and the organization behind it, period.
Oh my God. Not at all. I found that out in the days where I was, once upon a time, everybody, I worked for Home Depot. Yes. I was a kitchen designer, and I could sell kitchens all day long, and I did. I sold big kitchens. But what I could never sell was the install because I knew the guys were terrible. I would work on, okay, well, maybe I'll try to sell it this way. Maybe I'll try to sell it this way. Maybe I'll try to sell it this way. Bottom line, I didn't feel like they were going to do the best job. So it didn't matter what I said. I didn't believe in what I was selling. And then when I went into entrepreneurship and doing this for myself, it's like, if I'm having a tough time putting some stuff together, I can't sell anything else until I have until I have my passion for selling that again. I can't. You can't do it. You can't sell without your passion for it.
Well, you you certainly can't without worthy if you don't have that worthy intent, right? To truly when you truly desire to help and serve and create massive impact. And we both know that sales, there are the worst people ever in sales. I mean, they're just garbage. I'm sorry. I think of that movie, Glengarry Glen Ross. If anyone has ever seen that, people kept telling, "Oh, this is a great sales movie." And I watched it about 7 years ago or so. I almost threw something through the TV. I was screaming at the TV because I'm going, it was the sleaziest, slimiest, manipulative. It was awful. And I'm going, this is not how you sell. Because selling for me is a gift. It's where I'm giving my clients my expertise and my knowledge to help them be better, to have whatever they need, whether it's a product or service, if it's helping their company, if it's helping them, if it's helping their organization, if it's helping their community, if it's helping their clients. And that's why it's so important. And when you come with that worthy intent to truly desire to help and serve and create massive impact, it changes everything about sales. And it's a relationships, lifelong relationships of clients who do repeat business with you, who are referral partners, they are introduction, and they are raving fans. And you you get that gift when you're building a relationship.
That's right. That's right. And building relationship is so much different. The form of it has taken such a different we do it differently, but the goals of relationship building are the same, you know? So like part of it is like dressed in a different costume of landing pages and tripwires and all of the stuff. But the relationship still is at its heart. It's two people with a connection, usually building a deeper connection.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also the relationship starts with you being your authentic self. You show up as your authentic self every day, RJ. I show up as my authentic self every day. Today, I'm wearing the partying parrots. And by the way, I have kitty cat socks on. So I show up as my authentic self because I want to work with genuine humans,
Yeah,
who want to step into their unique, special magic. And that is what really, truly then attracts your clients to you because we live in a sea of sameness. So you can either just blend in with the beige and the hospital green, or you can stand out, be a beacon, of how you can be unique and then be successful.
indeed. And that's what it really is. We've all been inundated with the message that we need to have as many people as we can on a list. What what I've learned from you over the years is quantity. It's an ego number.
Yeah.
Quality is the only number you need to pay attention to.
Yeah.
I don't draw nearly as many people as one would think, but I am drawing the right people, and that's what makes all the difference in my business.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that phrase that you are famous for? At least you're a legend in my scrapbook, okay? But you are famous for the phrase worthy intent. Dig in. Why did you choose that phrase? What's it all about?
Worthy intent actually evolved out of my corporate career. And it was one of the things as I climbed the corporate ladder and I began starting to do things where I was the one who was I was helping sales teams close multi-million dollar deals. I'm not really sure how it came about, but at one point I was at an event and it was like, well, how do you do that? And I said, well, you do it with worthy intent. And I'm not sure how I put the words together, but it's definitely intention. And the worthy was, it was, I know that I had been talking to my dad. My dad's always, he's my late father now, but he was one of those people. He became best friends with everyone he ever sold to, and in his various different careers. His last career was being a contractor and building custom homes. He became best friends with every client he ever had and built a home for. And so I think that that's where I sort of picked up that word worthy. But in that moment, I put the two together. And then I described it, that it's where you genuinely desire to help and serve and create impact. And all of a sudden it just went, whew, wow, this is it. And from then on, I have talked about it and talked about it because it's part of my core value belief. I love helping people and serving. But at the same time, I love being paid for that expertise and how I'm helping and serving. But it's a win-win, because of the value and the expertise that's delivered and the growth that my clients are able to achieve. And they're doing it and they're feeling really great about themselves. They can sleep at night.
Yeah. I would, the same thing as what you were saying later. If you're not passionate about it, you can't sell it. If that also kind of reverberates into the bigger system of, I cannot build a business that will retire my wife. Uh, I cannot build that business not being proud of what I'm doing. I cannot, there's no, it's never, that pebble is never going to drop into the ocean, or whatever, and create, or a pond, I guess. I don't know, bodies of water. It's all very murky. But there's no way to create that system, that machine, without absolutely, the people that I look and see that are on my calendar, generally I cheer when I see them because they're my people. I love them. I love them more than I can even really talk about. And that's what it makes me very, very happy. The people that I partner with, I want to spend part of my life with. I want to meet you in person someday. I want to. These are my people. These are the I will. So it's not about having transactions. It's not
No,
about putting a price on someone's head.
no, absolutely. And the other thing to go with what you said is you're also building a repeatable, consistent, scalable process. And you're building that blueprint and roadmap so that you can retire and do all the fun things that you want to do or wherever you head off to. I'll probably be one of those people who work until the end, but
I know. I mean, let's face it,
because
me
I
too.
really love it. But that's another piece that people miss is that discipline to develop an actual sales strategy for their business and then to really tune in to their client thinking, because at the end of the day, it's your prospects who make the decision to become a client. So when you are working on that and working with that client thinking, which evolves and changes through the journey of working with you, from that initial spark to building rapport to building trust, to then becoming raving fans, that process, when you map that out and you create a blueprint, now you've got something that you can repeat, rinse and repeat, right? And you can refine, because we're always needing to refine and adjust as things change. And you have something that you can train others on so that you can bring more people in to expand your business, and including going into sales, so that you can scale your business.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the tough things for entrepreneurs, I know, is because I wandered around in the desert for a long time just trying to find some spaghetti that would stick to the wall. Now, there are no walls in a desert. I have mixed my metaphors, but I think that you're smelling what I'm cooking over here. I wandered around for a long time. Let's try this. Okay, that sounds good. Let's try this. And it took me a while to even get started on building this repeatable system. And I know that that's something that you are amazingly good at, is seeing things, seeing how things work, seeing those patterns, and then saying, okay, let's do it this way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you've tell us about a time you've done that in the past. I mean,
Well,
yeah,
I do it all the time, but it's based on who is my client and who are their clients.
yeah.
So it's got to be, there's no cookie cutters, except for when I'm rolling out the sugar cookies at Christmas. What we're doing is we're identifying where people are comfortable in themselves and where they're willing to stretch, that they're going to work on to grow, both personally and professionally. And then what makes sense to their business, where their ideal clients, where are those ideal clients hanging out, what's going to be attractive to them, where are they going to be able to connect? And then you put those two things together. And sometimes the low-hanging fruit for what someone is ready to get, people aren't necessarily ready to just jump up on stage and start speaking to a crowd. I know the first few times I did that, my voice was shaking, my hands were shaking. And, it takes a while to really step into that, and to also step into it to do it really well. But there are baby steps along the way, and there are things that you can do. And, but that's just one scenario for one specific client where they were B2B, and what the program and services they sold, there were a lot of trade shows and conferences. And so what we did is we put a plan together. We went to a few of those conferences as sort of a learning experience, attending, meeting people, finding out things. Then we invested in putting together talks to speak at them, and especially designed for them a panel discussion.
Oh, nice.
So that the CEO was moderating the panel. We would put one of his clients on the panel. It was a topic that completely fit what they did, how they helped and served and created impact. And then we would put 4 ideal clients on that panel. And as we worked on this and developed this whole system, is that those ideal clients, we had lots of conversations with them before the event. And by the time of the event, they'd gotten to know the CEO really well. They'd gotten to know the team. And after the event, almost in all cases, we were able to convert those panelists into clients.
Nice.
So it was by selecting the people that were a right fit, for his product and service. And in this case, it was a service. And that's the type of thing that it worked really well. And so we have to look at your business, what you do, how you help and serve, you personally, and especially for small business owners and entrepreneurs, what's going to make the most sense. Yeah. And then finally, the most important piece too is, where do your ideal clients hang out? Where are you going to be able to connect with them? And then looking at, what's the investment? What's the timeline? And then building that. Now he's still rinse and repeat this entire process year after year. It's been incredibly successful.
Well, and going back to that ideal client stuff, who are the people that you love working with the most?
Well, I only work with people who have worthy intent, who truly desire to help and serve their clients. I recommend that everyone have 5 heck yeses. And if you can't answer heck yes to those 5 things, do not work with them. And you have to decide what those heck yeses are for yourself. Now, one of mine is that they have to have worthy intent. Number 2 is they have to be in relationship sales. In other words, they're not one-call closers. They want to build a relationship with their client. And in fact, when people schedule a sale call with me the first time, it literally says how important are relationship sales in your business on a scale of 1 to 10. And I say, if you do not score 8 or higher, don't continue.
Yeah.
It's like, just self cull right now,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'm not a one call closer,
Yeah.
and that's not going to work. Most people are not ready to buy instantly.
They're not.
Oh, you're not. Hey, spoiler alert, they are not. You have to have a planned sequence for follow up and to build the trust to guide them to a decision to say yes. And you have to stack all your yeses. You get a yes for another meeting, a yes for another opportunity. You stack your yeses and you get the yes for the sale. So it's not that you need more leads, you need ideal client leads
Yeah.
that you qualify and you follow up and you close the sale.
And that's really the thing, for me, is what kind of, we were talking about machine earlier, kind of building that scalability, a machine that works, and then is scalable as well. And for me, a lot of the equation this past few years has been, I don't want just anybody at my door. I don't. At first, when I was in business, wandering around in the desert stage, I would take anybody with
Yeah.
a heartbeat, and I would say I could do any old job. Now, there were a couple that I turned down because it was just like, oh, can you do computer hardware? Sorry, that's no. But I love you, and I'll keep my eye out for you. There were a couple that I turned down, but most of the time, I knew that I had a learning curve, but I was just gonna, power through and do the thing. And not only was that not stunningly lucrative, I wasn't stunningly happy with it. And so, getting that system where you know who you are aiming for, and of course, you know exactly who you're aiming for. When you know who you're aiming for, and how to get those folks' attention.
Yeah.
I mean, I do it through making people laugh a lot. I do it through the cape. I have a lot of ways that I do it, and you help people develop those, such that they're ready to go out and have that panel.
Yeah. Well, there's a
Um,
number of things too. I find that a lot of people don't have a fully developed ideal client avatar. I just worked with a client, and it was literally half a page long. Oh no, we've built this out. No, no, no. By the time we were done, it was 16 pages. And the reason for that is we have now got a plethora of content ideas. We know the pain points, we know the emotions, we know the frustrations, we know the aspirations, we know the dream. And now we can speak to that, and we can provide the transformation from here to there.
yeah,
And we can illustrate that and talk about it. And it gives you so much more. It's the foundation of everything else that you do for your outreach, for your sales, for your marketing, for your follow-ups and sales. Every landing page you make, every email that you send. So it is absolutely vital that you really clearly understand that and position that. So you've got the position me, position them, and you know where that comes from,
yeah. Of
so
course, I
that
do.
you are able to now find the right people, attract the right people, and then help those people. They're going to hire you to create that impact that they're looking for.
Yeah. Speaking of your new initiatives, are you able to talk about that yet, or is that kind of still under wraps?
Well, you know about that, but I have partnered with someone you and I both know very well, who's an amazing person, and I'm going to be sort of taking on the mantle of her legacy. But I think that we'll just leave it as that, a
Okay.
teaser to come.
Teaser, everyone. you know how much I love to tease y'all, and you've just witnessed. Do connect with Lynn so that you can be among the first to find out the new stuff that she's doing, because our Lynn is going to light up the world with it, and you want to be in on it. You want to be in on it. Yeah, that worthy intent thing. I keep coming back to that. I know, but it's what separates the bro marketers from everybody else.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
Uh,
someone I worked with years ago, and I mean, still connected with him, of course. He was a client. He uses the phrase noble intent now, but he always says, "Hey, I got this from Lynn," but he calls it noble intent, and that's totally fine. But it's because it just was like it when he heard it, it just went, "That's me." Oh my gosh. And it was like he literally leapt out of his chair. And it was like, this is it. This is me. This is who I am. And this is what I do. And so he still uses it all the time, but he calls it noble intent. And I applaud him for that. It's not like I copyrighted it. So go for it. However, if you Google it, you'll find me on every page.
good work, my
So,
friend.
yeah. But, that's the thing. It's a real thing. It's about being your authentic self. It's about being genuine. It's about giving a darn. And I'll say darn, even though I might have wanted to say something else, but let's keep it clean. And yeah, it's about giving a darn about what you do and how you help people.
Well, and being able to care about that impact, and care about, okay, now that there's been an impact, how do we maximize that, and keeping working with them for a period of time. I mean, for me, my clients become lifelong friends, and you may need to try to get rid of me, but you won't be able to, because I'm really good at stalking. But it is about, it's not a relationship that ends in a transaction. It's a
Yeah.
relationship that begins way before the transaction and ends way after the transaction.
Yeah. No, my clients rehire me on a regular basis.
Yeah.
They've gotten up something new is and they go, "Oh, Lynn, hey, we're going to do this new thing.
Limb.
Help us with it." And of course. So, um, it and to your point, yeah, I to this day, I mean, I've been in sales literally since I got out of graduate school, and as a career, I could pick up the phone and call anyone I've ever worked with, and they'd be happy to take my call. Be happy to hear from me. And to me, that's a testament about who I am as a person. And at the end of the day, what more could I possibly leave for the earth about being that type of person? I mean, woohoo.
Exactly. That's just something I've been thinking about recently, is, what's the legacy I want to leave
Yeah.
when I go. And I know impossible to think about, but someday, when I go, what will I be leaving this place better than I found it? And what kind of legacy am I leaving? It's important.
Yeah. Yeah. And, living your life to a life well lived, as the phrase is. And Yeah, that's really important. I mean, that's a shared value set. I mean, that's the other thing that's really important to me when the people I work with, that we have a shared value set. That
Oh,
we're good people, we're kind people. We
yeah.
care about others.
Well, and more and more, I think we were talking about this the other day. Um, more and more, I'm thinking about when I share my values through the things that I'm writing and speaking about, and however I'm communicating that day. When I'm sharing with about my value set, uh, people just show up out of the woodwork. They just keep coming, and it's like, oh, hello. When I was saying all the right SEO words before, it wasn't making a damn bit of difference.
Yeah,
So the right words is where the words that are going to make you and your client connect on a deep level.
yeah,
So Uh,
And I have to say I have to put a plug in for you, RJ, because if people have not tried your amazing First Draft Ninja tool, I really encourage you to, RJ, you need to drop the free trial in chat. I have been
okay.
using this since RJ, I think, created it. So I'm like a beta tester. Love, love, love it. And it's because you create your own voice. You don't have to know what your voice is. I uploaded my own content, things that I had written. I was able to talk about my ideal client that I've spent a lot of time on, the 16 pages document.
Yeah.
And then it knows that system knows it. And then I can say, hey, I want to write a blog post. And one of the greatest things about it is for me, it's a brainstorming tool. And this is not the stinking Chat GPT easy button, which throws out garbage. It is a real tool that speaks in my voice, my words, to my ideal client avatar, and it keeps pulling it out. The way RJ's programmed this is it asks you questions that you answer. And I love it because it's brainstorming and I'm creating this article on the fly instead of staring at a blank sheet of paper. And I have a plan, which is our good friend Tom. I have
Yeah.
a plan for what I'm going to be doing and why I'm doing it. It really fits in with sales, that you're really focused on your client why and delivering value. And at the end of the day, I've got something that's really good. And as RJ says, it's 80% there. Yeah, it's 80 or more. And it's made it so simple. And now it's just a matter of just doing a little bit of finesse and cleaning it up. And I've got original content that was written from me. All right. And yet it was much easier. And that brainstorming makes me think about it, the questions that are asked, and yes, and it is fabulous. So, 2 thumbs up. Very enthusiastic 2 thumbs up.
Thank you so much, Lynn. It means a lot because you don't put your prowess behind things that you don't think are awesome, and to have to know that you think it's awesome. I just want to spread it to everybody in the world. And so, y'all, I put the link in the chat. If you want to grab a free trial, 15 days. I don't take your credit card. You can drop it. You can rewrite your entire website, drop it, and never speak to me again, and I will be just as pleased. Grab it, grab a free trial. It is worth your time. And Lynn is absolutely worth your time. Lynn, do you have like a way people can get a hold of you or a freebie or something?
Yeah, absolutely. If you go to our website at petitetoqueen.com / checklist, this is going to give you your sales process and the missing step that you probably have of why things aren't quite working. So, what's that gap? And you can go through that. And there's just so much. Just use our search bar and say, I want follow up. I want to know about follow up. And every resource we have in follow up is going to pop up for you. And you'll be able to read it, write it, listen to it, whatever you want to do.
That sounds fun and quite an education because I mean, what I know about you is that you research stuff fully and that you really get into, this is not surface material. This is deep stuff. So y'all, go visit that. Go visit that link. It's give me the link again.
Petitetoqueen.com / checklist.
/checklist. And petite two queen, it's a number two,
Yeah.
folks.
Yeah. The number
Uh,
2. Although I own
so,
every other version of the URL, but still.
well, I was like, I gotta tell him. I don't know if she's bought up all the other. Of course, you have bought up all the
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
ones.
I think I own like 30.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, we have to wrap this up. But we also are destined to do this again, because I really, when you launch your next initiatives, I want my audience to know every single thing about it, and so we will be doing this again soon, and I want to thank you for just sharing with our listeners. I mean, you've shared what you do for a living, but you've shared so much more. You've also shared who you are, what you value, and what you see is what you get with Lynn Whitbeck, everybody. What you see is what you get. So get you some. Just to wrap it up here, listen, y'all, come right in. Come by the come right in. Usually people are co-working around the bar. Sometimes you can find our Lynn there as well. And you never know who you're going to meet. You never know what's going to happen. And I will be there as your part-time bartender if I'm not in a meeting. And would just love to see you. Love to, get your words, get to know you, get to know what you're about, and I'm also offering a membership now. So inquire within, darlings,
Yep.
and
And
that
I'm
is
all in. I'm a lifetime member.
she is my lifetime member, y'all, of the Epic Engagement Guild. And I could not be prouder to have her. And maybe that's you too. So if it is, and you're feeling a little, ooh, I should press a button right now, the come right in. You should press that button. So that's all I know. Until I see you next week, take care of yourself, take care of each other,